Hello and welcome to another episode of Kajabi in 5 minutes. Today, we're going to be talking about a really cool feature that is literally just released last week, I think. This is called the Paywall. Woo! Anyways, the Paywall is something that you can put into your course products, which is it's just really awesome. This is a big move for Kajabi courses, and so it's great. What it allows you to do is offer different levels of access to a course, all using the same product. That's a big one. So it's seamless, for one, for the customer, and it only uses one of your quoted products, which is another big thing for you, the user. And so this is how it works. You go into a product, a course, you go into settings, and you roll down a bit, and then you can activate a paywall. And then this paywall just appears. Back up one more step. You hit activate a paywall, and then you have to choose an offer that unlocks the rest of the course after this paywall. And what's happening in the background is Kajabi's creating kind of an invisible, limited use version of this product. And so it's going to ask you for a name, and you can give this a name, for instance, like I've got a Kajabi code course. And so I was testing this out on that course, and I changed the name Kajabi code freebie, because I'm going to kind of rework the freebie that I've got for this Kajabi code course and make it that you can actually get into the course and be part of the course through the freebie instead of just having a PDF to work with. So it's going to be pretty cool. But anyways, so that's why it's asking you for a different name. And that ties in later on. So it's kind of useful to give it a different name. So you enable it in the settings. You choose the offer that unlocks the rest of the content, and then hit save in the settings area. And that's the first thing. Then you go to the outline of your course, and you'll see that there's this little paywall thing, and it's just right there after the first module. And if you want, you can drag it around to move it to a different spot. And that is basically how you do it. It's super easy to use. It says right on the little guy, everything above this will be basically part of the limited use version. You're doing it with the freebie, the free version. Everything below it will be locked for paid users or for upgraded users, because it doesn't just have to be free and paid. It could be paid and even more paid. So that's how that works. And the user experience is pretty cool. So they go into the course and they can navigate through the whole thing. So they can see all of the modules, even the ones that are behind the paywall. And they can click into them and they can see the lessons. They can see any of the graphics and the thumbnails and the descriptions and the titles. They can't click into the lessons, but they can see them. So it helps with people, getting curious and seeing the value and seeing all of the stuff that's there, but then, not being able to actually get it unless they decide to pay for it and, get the full version. So it's a pretty neat feature because, again, it lets you really kind of integrate multiple, two products into one product for a seamless experience for your user and for you only using one of your product quotas. Now, in the course area, you can preview now the limited access or the full access. So you can see, the experience. It's really easy just to pop into one of your courses and turn this on and check it out. So go ahead and give that a go. When you're in your offer, like when you're creating a new offer and you hit the add product button to include this product, what you'll actually see now is the new named version of that limited use product that you made when you first turned the paywall on in your settings. So when I mentioned you have to give it a new name, I did Kajabi code freebie. When I add a product, that's what I see. I don't see my Kajabi code product. which is what I see if I go into the products area or see my library. But in the offer, I specifically see that limited use version that I made. So now by default, and I think the only option, because I've enabled the paywall on that product, is for people to come in at that limited use level. And then once they're inside, that's where they get to upgrade if they want for the full meal deal. So that is what I've got for you today. More Kajabi awesomeness and the latest breaking stuff that's going on. So have at it and have a great week.